Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. We're here for day 2 down near St. Louis as Cougars and the North Park Vikings get ready to kick things off. First pitch here thrown at 4:45 p.m. on Saturday, February 24th, 2024. Thank you for joining us once again. Tyler Dorsch at the plate for the Cougars as he takes strike one. Pitching for the Vikings, number 13, Brandon Leadolf. So he sends that one outside. Leadoff, a sophomore from Joliet, Illinois. Pitching here for the Vikings. That one low as well. Vikings playing game 2 for them today here. Fell to Heidelberg just a few hours ago. That one is in there for strike 2. And quickly we've got a full count now. Earlier start time than previously anticipated. The two teams were ready to rock and roll and wanted to waste no daylight as Tyler Dorsch takes that one inside for strike 3. Vikings quickly get the first out. As that brings up Cougar batter Julio Cajigas. Swings at that one. Cajigas connects with that and is able to drop it into right field. It manages to go all the way to the wall. Julio Cajigas is going to get a double out of it. A great hit there from Cajigas. He did, in fact, have a handful of doubles yesterday against Heidelberg and looks like he's continuing on with this trend of his. Kicks things off for the Cougars here. Tyler Crater now at the plate for the Cougars. That one in there for strike 1. Crater pops that one straight back. Make things an 0-2 count here for him. Leadoff, one appearance so far this season with the Vikings. Pitched 4 innings, managed to pick up the save in their lone win on the season. Has 4 strikeouts in his 4 innings at play. Doing pretty well so far. 1 strikeout on the day as Crater fouls that one. Keeps himself alive here. Crater thought about swinging at that one, but checked himself for a good reason as that one is outside for ball 1. Crater had 2 hits on the day for the Cougars yesterday. Cougars fell to Heidelberg as well as that one is fouled straight back. This one inside for ball 2. Evens things up at a 2-2 count now. Crater looking to keep himself alive here. Crater's first at-bat yesterday, he did find himself with a strikeout before coming back and having a fairly successful day. That one is outside for a full count now. So far this season, in his 4 innings pitched, leadoff has had no walks. Looking to keep that going here, full count. Crater swings, that one chops just barely foul along the third base line. Third baseman Carlos Martinez making the diving attempt at it. The delivery popped up deep into left center. Tyler Crater sends a rocket, and it is going to be dropped, and Cahigas able to advance on that. Crater getting a double. There seemed to be some confusion as to what actually was happening here. Whether that was caught in the air or dropped. The home plate umpire here saying that that ball hit the ground. There's going to be a discussion about it. Either way, I believe Cahigas waited before heading to third. Looks like they are going to call that a caught ball. So, Crater flies out into center. Cahigas is going to advance to third on it. Smart base running there from Cahigas, waiting regardless before he tags up to make sure that in a tricky situation like that, he's able to still advance as Michael Kasich fouls that one off. Kasich fouls this one off once again. Kasich was walked a handful of times in his first game of the season for the Cougars. Picked up 1 hit in his 3 at-bats. One of the Cougars' top hitters overall, though, as that one is high for ball 1. That one off the end of his bat there as well. Keeping himself alive with a 1-2 count here. Cahigas in scoring position here. Despite 2 outs, a base hit will score a run. Give the Cougars an early advantage. As Kasich lets that one go inside for ball 2. Kasich chops at that one. Sends it foul along the third base line. Assistant coach for the Cougars, Connor Nelson, barehanding that one. Kasich, swing and a miss. Goes down swinging, ends the inning for the Cougars. Cougars end up with 1 hit while leaving 1 on base. We're going to take a quick break here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network for the bottom of the first. Cougars end their half of the inning scoreless. Brings the Vikings to the plate. On the mound for the Cougars, freshman Brady McCleary, right-handed pitcher from Patterson, California. As number 8, Joe Perona, kicks things off for the Vikings. He takes that for ball one, a 1-2 count here in favor of McCleary. Perona making 2 appearances so far this season for the Vikings. 1 hit in 8 at-bats. Looking to get things going here for the Vikings. As he connects with that one, sends it right up the middle, and it's going to find the gap. An easy single here for Perona. Exactly what you need to do. Slowly start chipping away. Hit after hit is exactly all that you need here, especially when your number 2 hitter is Alex DeVito, currently hitting a .769 on the season, 10 hits in 13 at-bats, a very impressive stat. As McCleary checks on Perona over at first. Saw this quite a bit in the Cougars' season opener yesterday, checking on the runners at first very frequently, something that head pitching coach Matt Smith seems to be a big fan of, as McCleary does it once again. Perona currently 4 for 4 on stolen bases this season. So understandable as to why McCleary would want to make sure he's not going anywhere, because it seems as though in his 2 appearances this season, he's going somewhere. As McCleary checks on him again. McCleary, the delivery, Perona's going, and that throw down from Brandon Mahler is not going to be in time. Again, something that Joe Perona is going to be very adamant on is stealing bases. He is now 5 for 5 this season. As that one upstairs for ball 2. DeVito swings on that one, sends it foul. Last season, Alex DeVito was hitting a .283 on the season. Still in the upper half for the Vikings as he swings and misses. Brady McCleary gets his first strikeout in the maroon and gold. A great way to start your freshman campaign with the Cougars. Nothing like a strikeout to get you going. As this brings up Justin Swanson for the Vikings. Fouls that one. Last year, Swanson, top hitter for North Park, hitting a .369 on the season. Not far off this season again in just 3 games, hitting a .400 as McCleary checks back behind him, concerned about Perona going somewhere. The delivery in, hit right into right field. Perona thought about going home. Rounds, ends up diving back to the base. Kasich checking on Swanson at first. A runner in scoring position here for the Vikings. 1 out. That's going to bring up Nathan Sommerfeld, the junior from Crest Hill, Illinois. Last year, Sommerfeld, big swings for the Vikings, hitting .326 on the season. As McCleary sends that one high for ball 1. McCleary, 12 pitches, 8 strikes so far in his appearance. He looks to check the runner at first. We're going to get into a little bit of a throwdown here. Swanson's going to end up staying at first. Great job on the Cougars, making sure that Perona does not get any opportunity to head home. Head coach Colin Connor is going to call his squad in. Talk to this group here for a quick minute. Regroup, recuperate, get the freshman jitters out, and keep control of this game. We saw yesterday Cougars also threw a freshman pitcher to start the season. Freshman Dylan Scott made his first appearance. So this Cougar coaching staff has a lot of trust in these young guys to get things going for them. And seemingly reassuring these young squad that calm composure is the perfect way to do so. As he gets the throw over the pickoff at first, gets Swanson out. Again, something that this coaching staff has been very fond of is looking for that pickoff and getting it. A great momentum shifter here for the Cougars. And quickly, we have 2 outs now. That one is in there for a strike. Sommerfeld fouls that one off. Brings himself to a 1-2 count now. 2 outs, runner on third. A very similar situation to what the Cougars saw in their first go-around. McCleary delivers high for ball 2. The pitch in, sends it straight up the middle. A base hit to send Perona home. Vikings strike first. An RBI in there for Sommerfeld. As that's going to bring up Bobby Bartlett for the Vikings. Thought about swinging at it, let it go by, but called strike one nonetheless. Two outs here in the bottom of the first. McCleary checking over at Sommerfeld. Already one pickoff today, looking to add on to that total. As that ball is hit right up the middle. Sommerfeld thought about heading to third, hesitated and stayed at second, but Bobby Bartlett able to get a base hit to move a runner into scoring position. It's going to bring up Gio Lucchetto for the Vikings. Two outs here. Cougars looking to get out of this inning with minimal damage. As Lucchetto pops that up into right field, and it's going to land. The play at home not in time. Sommerfeld's going to score. Dorsch unable to get there. Makes the throw home, but just a tad too late. Bartlett advances over to third. Runners on first and third. Two outs here. It's going to bring up Carlos Martinez. Vikings now up 2-0 here. As that one is in there for ball one. Catcher Brandon Mahler taking some time to holler out to his team, regroup, really try to close this inning here. Bartlett over on third, taking a generous lead. That one misses for ball two. This Vikings squad been very aggressive on the bases so far. You can assume that if anything gets past Mahler behind the plate, they're going to make an attempt at it. As McCleary checks over at first once again. Gio Lucchetto leaving quite a bit of space between him and the bag. As Brady McCleary delivers that one just a touch low again. Quickly a 3-0 count now in favor of Martinez. McCleary checks back at first. That ball ends up on the ground, but first baseman Michael Kasich keeps it in front of him and keeps control. Three-0 count now. Two outs here in the bottom of the first. The delivery inside for ball four. Mahler throws down. Unable to get Bartlett at third. We quickly have a bases loaded situation here. It's going to bring up Garrett Bragg for the Vikings, senior from Geneva, Illinois. McCleary delivers that one for ball one. Bases loaded situation here. 2 outs. Not what you want to see for the freshman on the bump for the Cougars. With 2 outs, looking to not walk another runner with these bases loaded. A walk scores a run, as Mahler's going to take a second to talk to his pitcher. Making sure to keep the freshman calm and in control of this situation. A ball in the air gives the Cougars a chance to get out of this inning without letting up any more runs. Vikings aggressive on the bases as McCleary delivers in there for a strike. Exactly what you needed right there. A 3-1 count here. In there for strike 2. And quickly, McCleary has gotten himself back into this count. A full count, 2 outs. Runners are advancing on the pitch. That one is low for ball 4. And the Vikings are going to tack another run on. Vikings now up 3-0 over the Cougars. Ethan Raspolich up, taking strike 1. Connects with that one, sends it over to Boswell at second, going to get the tag on Bragg to end the inning. Cougars find themselves in a bit of a bind, 3 runs on 5 hits. Trailing after 1 full inning of play. We're going to take a quick break here, but don't go anywhere as the Cougars have to battle back here heading into the top of the 2nd inning. Back here for the top of the 2nd. Brandon Mahler at the plate for the Cougars. Takes that one for strike one. Swings at that one, can't connect. Quickly in a 0-2 count now. Mahler having a pretty successful day outing for the Cougars yesterday. 3 for 5. As that one's out for ball one. Mahler 3 for 5, including 2 doubles. Picking up 4 RBIs in the process. Last season, Mahler also a consistent hitter for the Cougars, hitting .351 on the year. An impressive freshman outing as he fouls that one off. A 2-2 count here. That one just misses, brings it to a full count now. That one inside for ball 4. Mahler makes his way down to first base, bringing up Caleb Anderson for the Cougars. Anderson, a senior from Plainfield, Illinois. 1 hit and 2 at-bats yesterday for the Cougars. As he takes that one for strike one. An even 1-1 count now. That one outside for ball 2. Anderson connects with that, sends it out to left field. And Sommerfeld's able to collect it. Mahler stays put. Cougars quickly pick up 1 out. Bringing up another freshman for the Cougars, number 26, Alejandro Muñez. Freshman from Evergreen Park, playing shortstop for the Cougar squad today. Takes that one for strike one. Muñez swings at that, sends it right out to right field. A base hit to advance Mahler. All that's needed in these moments. Puts a runner into scoring position here. Bringing up Yashawn Boswell for the Cougars. The second baseman, once again, just looking to get a base hit here. As he takes that for strike one. Boswell looked to bunt but pulled back. Still going to get called on the strike regardless. Boswell connects, sends that over to third with the force. Martinez takes it himself, able to grab the out at third. Brandon Mahler out on that play. Two outs here. Runners still on first and second. Different set of runners, but two runners on base nonetheless. Freshman for the Cougars, James Klopke Jr. connects, sends that one right over to short and able to collect the out. The Vikings close the inning without allowing the Cougars to score a run, keeping themselves with the comfortable 3-0 lead. We're going to take a quick break as these teams shift sides, so don't go anywhere here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here for the bottom of the second. North Park leading the Cougars 3-0. Vikings back to the top of the order. Perona pops that one up. Three Cougars all sprinting towards it. Tyler Crater losing it in the sun, but still able to make the grab. A very athletic play from Crater. Looked like it bobbled around for a second, but able to hold on to it and collect the out. One out here. That one inside for ball two. McCleary delivers that one. A 3-0 count now. Alex DeVito at the plate for the Vikings. Takes the 4-ball walk. Bringing up Justin Swanson to the plate for the Vikings. Swanson already at one hit on the day. Takes that one low for ball one. McCleary delivers that one for strike one, able to catch the corner of the plate. A 1-1 count now. McCleary checks on DeVito at first. Cougar faithful thought that they might have gotten it. Umpire says otherwise. McCleary gets Swanson swinging at that in a 1-2 count now. The freshman pitcher checking back on DeVito at first yet again. The sun setting here pretty quickly, making some fun glares coming in as Swanson fouls that one to keep himself alive. The delivery, Swanson connects, sends it far out. Gonna go foul along the first base line, though. One-two count. McCleary checks the runner at first, and they're going to successfully get DeVito out. The second pick off today. Cougars not wanting to be taken advantage of on the bases, going to do whatever they can to prevent that from happening. And so far, it has been incredibly successful here in the second inning. As Swanson fouls that off. 2 outs now. A 1-2 count. Delivers for another foul. 4 consecutive fouls here for Swanson. Looking to keep himself alive here. As McCleary delivers, that ball's going to bounce in the dirt. Got away from McCleary just a little bit. I say bouncing in the dirt, but the Cougar team here playing on a turf field as that ball's hit out to center field. An athletic dive for the freshman Klopke Jr. Gets the Cougars out of this inning. And that is exactly what you want to see. A great way to end the inning and keep the momentum here on the Cougar side. Cougars fired up right now as we head into the top of the third. Things are starting to heat up between these two squads, so don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break here, but we will be right back on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network. Cougars stealing the momentum here. Tyler Dorsch at the plate taking ball one. Here in the top of the third, Cougars trail 3-0. Vikings took an early lead. 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Put them in a very comfortable spot, but the Cougar defense been doing a fantastic job as Dorsch chops that one over to shortstop and get the throw in time. Brings up Julio Cajigas for the Cougars. Cajigas now already had a massive hit for the Cougars today. A stand-up double he got in the first inning. He swings and misses on this one. Cajigas takes that one on the ground for ball one. Cajigas connects with that, but Martinez gloves it and gets the throw over in time. 2 quick outs now for the Vikings. As Tyler Crater comes to the plate for the Cougars. Crater had the questionable play in his first at-bat today. Sent a ball out to center field. There was a little confusion on if it was caught or dropped. He was called for the out. As he connects with that one, sends that ball deep into left field. But Sommerfeld able to rope it in, and a quick 3 up, 3 down for the Vikings. Put the Cougars back on the defensive side of things. We're going to take a quick break here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Hey there, Cougar fans. We appreciate you turning in today's game. To stay up to date on all things CUC baseball,
follow us on Twitter and Instagram at CUC Baseball.
We'll see you on campus soon.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
Back here for the bottom of the third inning. Sommerfeld at the plate for the Vikings. Looks at strike one. Freshman Brady McCleary still dishing on the mound for the Cougars. Delivers strike 2. Nice and quickly. Cougars trailing 3-0 here. After giving up 3 runs in the first inning. Sommerfeld drives that one up the middle. Boswell connects, grabs it, and is able to get the out over at first. A quick 1 out now. It's going to bring up number 34, Bobby Bartlett, for the Vikings. For strike 1. Bartlett already having a hit on the day. Connects with that, sends it right over to first baseman Kasich, who flips it over to McCleary on the bag, and quickly the Cougars have 2 outs now. Cougars find themselves in a good position here. As Gio Luchetto takes strike 1. McCleary thrown 53 pitches so far for the Cougars, 54, including that one in there for ball 3. Luchetto connects and is able to drop it into shallow left. Cajigas able to grab it. Umpire taking a look at that bat, made a very interesting noise when the ball came off of it, excuse me. It's going to put Carlos Martinez at the plate. Runner now on first for the Vikings. As Martinez takes ball 1. 2 outs now. If you're just now joining us for a wonderful Saturday night baseball game, thank you for being here on the Cougar Sports Network with me. My name is Kayla McLeod. I will be on the call all weekend with the Cougar squad as McCleary delivers that one for ball 2. Cougar baseball kicked off their season yesterday. Took on Heidelberg University for their season opener. A hard-fought battle fell to them 14-9. As McCleary gets Martinez swinging on that one for strike 2. Sun setting here in Sauget, Illinois. Cougars playing a series of neutral games to kick off the season, chasing a little bit warmer weather than back in the Chicagoland area. The 3-2 count now, fouled off here for Martinez, keeping himself alive. McCleary delivers that one just outside, barely misses for ball 4. Going to put runners on first and second here. Brings up Garrett Bragg now. Cougars have 2 outs, a runner now in scoring position for the Vikings. Cougars gave up 3 runs in the first inning, but held the Vikings so far. Bragg sends that one right back at McCleary, but McCleary able to collect it and get the throw over to first to retire the inning without allowing another run. 1 hit allowed, but the Cougars are going to keep fighting now as we head into the top of the 4th. We're going to take a short break here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, we are into the top of the 4th as Kasich pops that one up and able to grab it is Raspolich for the first out. Brandon Mahler at the plate for the Cougars. Takes that one for strike 1. Mahler quickly facing an 0-2 count now. Mahler lets that one pass him by for ball 1. Leadoff still pitching for the Vikings, 47 pitches on the day so far. as that one is low. Mahler took a walk in his first at-bat, looking to grab a hit here. As he sends that one up the middle. And Swanson able to snag it for the out. It's going to bring up Caleb Anderson. 2 outs here for the Vikings. Not the situation the Cougars want, as they are coming from a 3-run deficit currently. 2 outs here, as Anderson sends that one foul. Anderson sent a fly ball out to left field in his first at-bat of the day. Still chasing a hit here. Yesterday for the Cougars, Anderson picked up 1 hit in 2 at-bats. As he evens the count here. Anderson fouls that one along the third base line. Assistant coach Connor Nelson with his second catch of the day. A 1-2 count now for Anderson. Lets that one pass him by for ball 2. Anderson chops that over to Swanson, and Swanson easily once again able to toss that over to Bragg, ending the inning here. Cougars unable to score yet again. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. Going to put the power back in the Vikings' hand as McCleary gets ready to start his 4th inning on the mound for the Cougars. We're going to take a short break, and we will see you back here in just a second on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here for the bottom of the first. Ethan Raspolich up for the Vikings, takes that one for ball 1. As the sun starts to set, the lights kick on, something the Cougars are pretty unfamiliar with, playing in River Forest. Only playing day games, no lights at the Thunderdome. So not something that the Cougars have to deal with very often. McCleary delivers another strike, a quick 2-2 count here. McCleary so far today, 3 innings pitched as he gloves that one and tosses over to CUC for the first out. Brady McCleary having himself a bit of a day here. Doing a fantastic job for the Cougars. As Joe Perona back at the plate for the Vikings. Fouls that one back. Perona so far today, a single up the middle, and had that athletic foul ball caught by Tyler Crater in his second appearance as McCleary delivers ball 1. Perona sends that one up the middle, but Munoz able to grab it, get the out over at first. 2 outs here for the Cougars. Bringing up Alex DeVito now for the Vikings. Cougars find a quick 2 outs, which is exactly what you need. The more zeros up on that scoreboard, the better, as DeVito sends that one over to short. Munoz collects it, but can't get the throw off in time. The sliding catch for Munoz, catches him just a bit off balance. As Swanson's going to take a second to chit-chat with his coach over at third base. Vikings needing to get something going here as they quickly face 2 outs. McCleary doing his job on the mound. Takes a step out there for a second as that ball is hit over to Munoz. Munoz collects it and gets the out at first. A big outing for the Cougars. A quick 1-2-3. Allowing DeVito to get a hit in there, but the Cougars controlled that the entire time. Momentum is on the Cougars side, just needing to capitalize on it. We're going to take a short break here as the Cougars get ready to get behind the bats. Don't go anywhere. Things are starting to heat up. Cougars trail the Vikings 3-0. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Alejandro Munoz skies this one into right field, and tracking back at the wall, Perona able to collect it for a quick first out. A hard hit ball, thought that it potentially had a little more juice to get all the way out, but it didn't. So a quick first out here brings up Yashawn Boswell for the Cougars. He looks to bunt, sends that one foul for strike one. Boswell reached base on a fielder's choice in his first at-bat today. Again, looks to bunt, but takes that for ball one. Cougars chasing a hit here, needing to get some things going, playing really well defensively, but can't seem to get the bats swinging, as Boswell takes that for strike two. Quickly a 1-2 count now, as he swings through and fouls it back. Leadoff still pitching for the Vikings. Currently 2 strikeouts on the day. Make it 3. Leadoff catches Boswell and gets the strikeout. Brings up Klopke Jr. for the Cougars. 2 outs now. That one misses for ball one. He connects with it, sends it over, and the Vikings are able to successfully retire 3 batters in a row. A quick inning here. Cougars needing to keep working defensively in hopes that the offensive efforts will start to heat up, as yet another scoreless inning for the Cougars puts the pressure back on the defense here. We're going to take a quick break here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here for the bottom of the 5th. Sommerfeld at the plate for the Vikings, swinging for strike one. Quickly picking up strike two. Cougars and the Vikings been at a bit of a stalemate since the first inning. Vikings able to collect 3 runs in the first inning and nothing since. As McCleary hits Sommerfeld. Sommerfeld pretty excited about wearing that one off of his shoulder. Puts a runner at first. It's going to bring up Bobby Bartlett, but head coach of the Cougars, Colin Connor, going to take a second to call his team out. Potentially get a pitching change as there is some motion in the Cougar bullpen. But while Coach Connor talks with his squad, we're going to take a quick break here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Cougar fans, thanks for tuning in to today's broadcast. For all things Cougar baseball, head to Twitter or Instagram, type in CUC Baseball, and you'll find our page.
Or visit cucougars.com.
Back here on the Cougar Sports Network. The freshman arm is going to stay in for a bit longer. McCleary still working on the mound. Coach Connor and the rest of the Cougar staff have a lot of trust in the freshman who's done some great things in the first 4 innings. A very successful freshman debut thus far as he looks to keep things going for the Cougars. Sends that in, the bunt laid down. McCleary sends the ball over to first and is able to get Bartlett out. Going to advance Sommerfeld over to second. Luchetto now at the plate. Luchetto swinging through that one, fouls it off. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. That ball outside. Luchetto, 2 hits on the day so far. Both singles, collecting 1 RBI, having himself a fairly successful day at the plate as well. That ball just a touch high and away for ball 2 as catcher Brandon Mahler is going to take a quick second to calm his pitcher down. While they're taking a quick break, we'll look at some scores around Concordia. Many teams playing today. Men's lacrosse falling to Anderson University 17-3 at home. Men's volleyball taking the conference win over Lakeland in a thrilling 3-2 victory. Cougars looking to add to that victory list for Cougar Athletics today as McCleary gets set and delivers a strike. If there's one thing that we've learned about this young pitcher, it's that he takes what is being said to him and fires himself up every single time that Mahler or the coaching staff have gone out to talk to him. He's delivered a strike next as Luchetto sends that ball high into the outfield, back at the wall. That baby bounces off. Cahiga's able to get it in, but Sommerfeld's going to score. A huge double for Luchetto. His 3rd hit of the day. Some seriously tall walls out in right field. That ball bouncing pretty high up off that wall into the hands of Julio Cajigas. First run for the Vikings since the first inning. Vikings now on top of the Cougars 4-0 in the bottom of the fifth. 1 out with the freshman pitcher still dishing on the mound for the Cougars. Martinez at the plate lets that one slide by for ball 2. Still some movement in the Cougar bullpen, ready for relief for this young pitcher. Hopefully getting the rest of this inning out of him as he throws strike number 1. Martinez fouls that one back. And quickly a 2-2 count now. Temperature slowly dropping here. Starting to get a little bit chilly. As Martinez sends that one fair territory into the corner. Luquetto's going to score. That's going to be a stand-up double for Martinez. Vikings starting to find their groove, picking up yet another run here. And Coach Connors making his way back to the mound. So while he goes out to talk with his squad, we're going to take a short break, but don't go anywhere as we're going to have a new pitcher coming in here on the Cougar Sports Network.
I'm Connor.
No, I'm Connor. Wait, I'm Connor.
Do you know where I can find more about Concordia Chicago?
Yeah, head to cuchicago.edu to find out more.
We appreciate you guys tuning in to our game today. Hope to see you soon. Go Cougs. Hi, Mom.
Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, a new pitcher on the mound for the Cougars, number 40, Bryce Jones. As Bragg pops that one out into right field, Dorsch collects it, but Martinez is going to advance to third. Two outs now. Runner on third. Raspolich up at the plate for the Vikings. Takes ball one. Bryce Jones in his second season with the Cougars. Made 10 appearances last year. Collected 5 total strikeouts. Looking to make it 6 for his career here, as that one is low and in the dirt. Mahler able to keep it in front of him, as Martinez is on third, looking to stay aggressive in base running. Jones delivers strike number one. Cougars trailing 5-0 here in the bottom of the fifth. Freshman Brady McCleary held things strong for a while as Mahler barehands that one and is able to catch the out at first, ending the inning. Bryce Jones able to get things done, giving the Cougars the opportunity to start firing back on the bats. So we're going to take a quick break here in between innings, but we will be right back here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network for the top of the sixth. Cougars trailing the Vikings 5-0. Tyler Dorsch at the plate now. Leadoff still working on the mound for the Vikings. Brady McCleary closing his time on the mound for the Cougars in the last inning. 4.1 innings pitched. Delivered 1 strikeout, 4 walks, and gave up 5 runs. facing 25 batters, did a fantastic job for a handful of innings, keeping the Vikings at bay. As Dorsch now faces a 2-2 count. Cougar's been doing a good job defensively as a fantastic snag from Swanson collects the first out. Julio Cajigas at the plate for the Cougars now, 1 out, looking to get something going offensively. Cougars only 2 hits on the night compared to the Vikings' 9. As Cajigas fouls that one back. Cajigas a stand-up double in his first at-bat today, but unable to convert on it as he fouls that one back. Last season with the Cougars, Cajigas was hitting a .333 in that upper end for this Cougar squad. Appeared in 31 games, quickly working his way into the starting lineup. As he swings straight through, and the Cougars quickly face 2 outs. Tyler Crater at the plate for the Cougars, needing to get something going. I know I've said it quite a bit these last few innings, but the Cougars have been working their tails off defensively and just struggling to swing the bats as Crater fouls that one off. An unusual sight for this Cougar squad. Historically been really consistent hitting the ball as Crater fouls that one back. Quickly an 0-2 count as leadoff looks to end this for the Vikings, throws a ball high. As Crater swing and a miss, and leadoff does it, gets the Vikings out of this with 3 quick batters, and the Vikings are just taking control of this game. Cougars doing their job defensively, but struggling to get things going behind the bats, still trailing 5-0 as we head into the bottom of the 6th. We will be back on the Cougar Sports Network in just a moment. Back here for the bottom of the 6th. Bryce Jones on the mound for the Cougars. Back to the top of the lineup for the Vikings. Joe Perona looking to start things off, fouling that one. This is Perona's 4th plate appearance today. Had a single up the middle in the first inning, but hasn't been able to get on base since. Turns away from that, but called a strike. Now facing a 1-2 count. As that ball pops out of the glove of sophomore catcher Brandon Mahler. This North Park squad hitting exceptionally well on the day. As a team hitting .409, Brandon Mahler thought that was going to be called a strike. Stood up ready to send that down to Crater at third, but called ball 3. As Jones gets set to deliver the pitch for ball 4. Bringing Alex DeVito to the plate for the Vikings. As I was saying, the Vikings 9 of 22 on the day, a .409 hitting percentage as a team, compared to the Cougars 2 for 20. The offensive difference is going to be the game changer here. Breaking statistics down a little bit more. Cougars 0 for 6 on hits as they throw down. And we've got ourselves a nice little pickle here. Perona looking, and they're going to get him. Alejandro Munoz, the one to make the diving tag, gets the out. 1 out now for the Cougars. Again, this is something that the Cougars have been exceptionally well at, as far as picking people off, consistently looking to not let runners advance. And this is the 3rd time today that the Cougars were able to get that pick off. As DeVito swings through that one and fouls it back. A 1-1 count now. As Jones gets set. Sends that one low for ball 2. DeVito takes that one for ball 3. A 3-1 count now. DeVito struck out in his first at-bat. In his second, was able to take a brisk walk down to first and hit a single as he chops this one over to second. Boswell collects it and gets the throw over to Kasich for out number 2. It's going to bring up number 29, Justin Swanson for the Vikings. 2 outs here in favor of the Cougars. Again, Cougars been doing some work defensively, just struggling a bit on the offensive end as Bryce Jones delivers a beautiful strike one. If you're just now joining us on the Cougar Sports Network, thank you for being here with us as Swanson chops that over. Crater collects it, sends the throw over to Kasich, a little wide, and Kasich unable to bring it back in time. Brings up Sommerfeld. For the Vikings, runner now on first. Swings and sends that one foul. Sommerfeld singled in his first at bat, but most recently was hit by a pitch in the last inning. So that ball is low for ball one. Two outs here. This game, the Vikings have been 5 for 11 grabbing hits with 2 outs. So not something that they're too scared of as Jones checks Swanson back at first. Swanson takes off. Mahler throws down. The throw is there, but just a touch high. Boswell thought he got the tag on. Umpire saying no good. Runner got underneath it. Swanson now in scoring position. As that ball is hit, Boswell slides to make the play, looks to keep Swanson at third, and he's able to keep him at third. Cougars now facing runners on first and third. 2 outs. Bobby Bartlett at the plate for the Vikings. Like I said, the Vikings have been pretty fantastic at hits with 2 outs, but equally as impressive is hitting 6 for 11 with runners in scoring position. So seeing Swanson over on third, again, something that the Vikings have been pretty good at all game today, is getting him home. Jones checks Sommerfeld back at first. Not a bad thing, but the key here is to be sure that that is in control, because Swanson is an aggressive base runner and will take advantage of even the slightest overthrow from the Cougars to find his way home. Kasich doing a great job of keeping that ball in front of him and checking Swanson back at third. Mahler going to take a quick chat with his pitcher. Calm things down a little bit. Hopefully get the Cougars out of this inning, keeping the runners where they're at. As that ball is inside, backing Bartlett off the plate just a little bit. A 2-1 count now. As Jones gets set, Bartlett swings on it, and it's going to get through. Boswell makes the diving attempt. And Swanson's going to get home. Sommerfeld's going to hold at second. As that brings up Gio Lucchetto. Connects with the first pitch. Muñez able to grab it and get the out at second, get the Cougars out of this inning. Not really what you were looking for here, but Cougars will have to make do regardless. We're going to take a short break here while the Cougars get set to go behind the bats, so don't go anywhere here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, top of the 7th, as Kasich takes that one upstairs for ball 1. Cougars trailing 6-0 now. Vikings starting to find their groove a little bit, able to score 3 runs early in the first inning. Tack on 2 more in the 5th and a solo run in the 6th, as that one is outside for ball 2. fantastic. Struggling at the plate today, struck out in his first appearance, popped up to the shortstop as he connects and sends that over to third. But Martinez able to get the throw in as Brandon Mahler steps to the plate for the Cougars now. 1 out. Needing to find some type of momentum on the offensive end. Cougars already with 1 out. That one in there for strike 1. Mahler walked in his first at-bat of the day, but grounded out in his second. Takes that for ball 1. Chasing his first hit of the day. Mahler had a stellar day for the Cougars yesterday. Like I said earlier, the sophomore catcher went 3 for 5, picking up 4 RBIs on the day. Seeing a very different tale today. So that one is in there for ball 1. Mahler connects with it. Sends it over to Martinez. Martinez able to make the throw once again. Quickly, the Cougars are facing 2 outs now. Caleb Anderson at the plate. Lightoff still working on the mound for the Vikings, doing a fantastic job quickly retiring these Cougar batters. Anderson, again, still chasing his first hit of the day as he lets that one slide by for strike 1. Cougars now with 2 outs. Cougars, a team that's been not only struggling in general at the plate today, but we talked about a Vikings squad that's very good at getting hits with 2 outs. Cougars seen a little bit of a different story as Anderson again grounds out, and a 1-2-3 inning for the Vikings sends the Cougars back to play defense. We're going to take a quick break here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here for the bottom of the 7th inning. Cougars have a new pitcher on the mound. Another freshman here for the Cougars. Number 12, Richard Gomez, freshman from Shorewood, Illinois, making his debut in the maroon and gold. Delivers 2 quick balls for a 2-0 count. Martinez at the plate for the Vikings. That one inside. As I mentioned earlier, with the sun setting, temperatures starting to drop, currently sitting at a chilly 42 degrees. After a nice sunny and 55 kind of day, got things started, but Richard Gomez delivers his first strike in the maroon and gold as Martinez keeps things alive and fouls one off. A full count now. Take a quick look at the final line for Bryce Jones, but first Martinez is going to send that one out into right field, and a very athletic diving catch from Tyler Dorsch is going to get the first inning. Dorsch, someone that's not afraid of diving after that ball and does so very effectively. Able to pick up the first out here. Like I said, taking a look at Bryce Jones's final stat line for the game. 1.2 innings pitched, allowed 1 run on 2 hits. Faced 8 total batters as Bragg fouls that one off. A 1-2 count now. Bragg connects, sends that one foul as well. 2 teams from the Chicagoland area, but fan base traveling well, seeing a lot of the Cougar faithfuls in the stands here tonight, despite the chilly temperatures, as that ball is going to bounce foul. Garrett Bragg keeping himself alive here. 1-2 count still. As Gomez gets him swinging. First strikeout in the maroon and gold for Richard Gomez. Welcome to it, kid. As the Cougars now pick up their second out. Looking to keep things quick here. It's going to bring up Ethan Raspolich for the Vikings. As that one is wide. No runners on base for the Vikings here. That one close, but doesn't quite catch that outside corner. But that one does. Gomez with another strike thrown. Strike 2. Gomez looking to end things for the Cougars. A full count now. And he gets it. Richard Gomez gets him swinging. Strikeout number 2. That's how you get out of an inning. The freshman, fire me up, get things going. Cougars need that momentum shift to head as we head into the top of the 8th. Don't go anywhere. Things are still heating up here as we get ready to play the 8th inning here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, we are officially in the top of the 8th. Cougars trailing 6-0. We've got a new pitcher on the mound for the Vikings. Number 20, Sam Jackson, a right-handed pitcher out of Nashville, Tennessee. Alejandro Munoz, our batter, facing a 1-1 count now. As the Cougars going to be looking to get the bats going, we're going to see a couple changes coming up. Munoz chops that one, but yet another hit to the infield is going to be no good. Raspolich able to collect it and get the out. We're going to see a pinch hitter here hitting for Yashawn Boswell, number 72, Connor Jerkitis. The freshman out of New Lenox, Illinois. In addition, it looks like Luquetto is going to go have a quick word with his pitcher. Cougars just looking to get some force behind the bats and potentially make their comeback starting now. Jerkitis making his second appearance for the Cougars. Little misunderstanding here, but alas, we get underway. That one misses for ball one. Jerkitis, one at bat in yesterday's game against Heidelberg. Still looking for his first hit as a Cougar. And he's quickly handed a 3-0 count. Make it a 4-0 walk for the freshman. Taking a trip down to first. We're going to see a pinch runner for Jerkitis. Looks like Sergio Vasquez Jr. Meanwhile, we have a pinch hitter for James Klopke Jr. in Dom Owens. A runner now on first for the Cougars. Owens looking to keep things alive here in the top of the eighth. Lets that one go for strike one. Sam Jackson doing his job for the Vikings, hoping to contain the Cougars for just a little while longer. That one inside for ball two. No outs here in the eighth. That one inside for ball three. A 3-1 count now. Following Owens brings up the top of the order for the Cougars. That one hits for strike two. Owens now facing a full count. Needing to protect the plate here. Chops that one over. And Bragg thought about going to second for the double play, but instead takes it to first and gets the out. Advances Vasquez Jr. over to second with Dorsch now at the plate. 2 outs. Dorsch also without a hit today, fouling that one off. Cougars 0 for 4 on hits when there's a runner in scoring position. Again, still chasing their first hit since the first inning A 1-2 count now. As Dorsch keeps himself alive a little while longer, fouling that one back. Jackson hoping to close another scoreless inning here for the Cougars. Dorsch backing out of the way. A 1-2 count, 2-2 count now, excuse me. The delivery. Dorsch thought about swinging, hesitated, and instead Jackson gets the strikeout. Cougars once again scoreless in the inning. As we head to the bottom of the 8th. Don't go anywhere. We've got just a little bit more baseball left to play, so we'll come at you with any substitutions in just a moment here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network in the bottom of the 8th. Handful of new changes for the Cougars. Tyler Pritchard now on the mound. The sophomore left-handed pitcher from Manhattan, Illinois. Meanwhile, Jack Carroll enters the game in right field, and Sergio Vasquez Jr. slides over to second base as Pritchard hits Perona with a strike there. A 2-1 count now. Catches the outside corner of the plate there for strike number 2. Perona fouls that one back to keep himself alive. Perona still chasing his first hit since the first inning of the game. Found his way on base in the last inning, but got caught up trying to steal. Cougars really good with those pickoff attempts. Bryce Jones attempted the pickoff at first and ended up catching him as he takes ball number 4 to bring up Alex DeVito. Runner now on first. An aggressive base runner, I might add. Something that I'm sure left-handed pitcher Pritchard is going to be aware of as he does attempt the pickoff, and he got him! Cougars do it again. A great throw over from Pritchard. Kasich able to drop the tag down. Cougars are just unstoppable. Perona in a similar situation as his last at-bat and unable to make it further than first base. DeVito takes that one low for ball 1. Chops at that. Kasich makes the diving slide, but nobody covering first. Vasquez Jr. collects it. But Pritchard didn't get to the base in time. Kasich was still working on getting up from sliding. So DeVito able to safely make it to first. It's going to bring Swanson back to the plate for the Vikings. Pritchard dishes in there for strike 1. That one low and in for ball 1. Swanson pops that one back over the Cougar dugout. Puts himself at a 1-2 count now. Pritchard looks over to catch DeVito, but doesn't. Game time creeping up on 2.5 hours now. Had some really quick innings and some really drawn out innings. As that one misses for ball 2. Vikings playing today against the Cougars was their second game of the day. They battled with Heidelberg just before taking on the Cougars. The Vikings fell to Heidelberg similarly as the Cougars did yesterday as well. Now these two teams both looking for their first win in this weekend's tournament. As that one misses outside for ball 3. Wind starting to pick up here. Swanson pops that one up. Mahler looking to catch it, falling into the Cougar dugout. Does not catch it, but again, fell down the stairs into the Cougar dugout. But gets up like a champ. No damage. Got to try harder than that to break Brandon Mahler. Right back at it for the Cougars. A fantastic effort from the sophomore. Kid is really just a machine behind the plate for the Cougars. As Pritchard here with a full count. That ball hit up the middle. Munoz takes it himself, gets the throw over in time. The double play gets the Cougars out. Alejandro Munoz with a fantastic, smart choice to take that himself. And we are heading to the top of the ninth. Cougars got some work to do to stay in this, but nothing they can't handle, as we're going to take a quick break here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network as the Cougars battle in their last chance to tie things up, trailing 6-0 in the top of the ninth. Julio Cajigas at the plate, facing a 1-1 count now. Takes that one inside for ball 2. Sam Jackson still dishing on the bump for the Vikings. Cougars needing to pick up at least 6 runs to send this to the bottom of the ninth. Vikings on the opposite side looking to pick up some quick outs, but a walk for Julio Cajigas is going to kickstart the inning, putting a runner on first. Tyler Crater at the plate now. That ball in the dirt. Cajigas thought about going, but hesitated too much. Gio Lucchetto ready to throw down if need be. That ball low and away. Crater quickly facing a 3-0 count. Runners on first, no outs. Not a bad way to start the top of the ninth if you're the Cougars. Sam Jackson just looking to get things over here. Sends that one low for ball 4. Back-to-back walks here is going to bring up the big man Michael Kasich for the Cougars. Runners on first and second. No outs. Cougars still have some arms working in the bullpen if need be. Kasich lets that one go for ball 1. Kasich thought about swinging, didn't fully commit, but still called for it. Picks up the 1-1 count. Like I said earlier, Kasich still looking for his first hit of the day, usually a powerhouse at the plate for the Cougars. So fairly unusual to see him without a hit on the day. As he lets that one go. Picks up the 2-1 count. Kasich flies that one deep into right. Runners staying on base. The catch is made, but Cajigas is going to tag. Perona able to make the grab out in right. Crater's going to stay put, but Cajigas gets himself into scoring position. Cougars 1 out now. Brandon Mahler at the plate. We're going to see a quick little exchange between the pitching and catching duo, trying to keep control here. But Brandon Mahler will be the one at the plate for the Cougars. Looking to keep things going in favor for the Cougars. Runners on first and third, 1 out now. As that one is low for ball 1. Brandon Mahler also looking for his first hit of the day. Made a really good defensive effort in the last inning, diving into the Cougar dugout to try to catch a ball, but struggling here offensively. Mahler led this squad yesterday, hitting .600 on the day, as that one also goes in there for ball 3. Cougars have a chance here to put a dent in this Viking lead. Is that one low for ball 4? Bases get loaded up. And we're going to see a new batter for the Cougars. In number 19, Eli Hickman. But before that, we're going to get a quick time from the Viking coaching staff. Looks like they're going to be getting a new pitcher in. Jackson ending his time on the mound. So we're going to take a short break here, but we're going to be right back with this new pitching update here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Our name's Richard. Hey, Cougar fans. Thank you for tuning in to today's game. For more information on the baseball program, head to cucougars.com. We hope to see you at our next game. Roll, Cougar!
Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, new pitcher in here for the Vikings. We've got number 26, Zach Price, a right-handed pitcher from Colorado. As the Cougars also have a new batter in the DH spot, number 19, Elijah Hickman. That ball gets away there, but Cougars staying put. One out here in the top of the ninth. Cougars have bases loaded. A base hit here scores at least one. That one is in there for strike one. That one misses for ball four. And Cahigas is going to make his way home on that walk. We're going to see another quick timeout as Vikings coach is going to call his infield in. Cougars put up their first run of the day. It's exactly what they needed here to slowly start chipping away. Not the complete answer to the game, but a 5-run deficit compared to a 6-run deficit definitely favors the Cougars. Bases loaded, still one out. A lot of game for the Cougars here. As number 26, Alejandro Munoz, is back at the plate. Bases loaded. Cougars looking to keep capitalizing here on this. A base hit scores 1, potentially 2. So that one is in there for ball 1. Low and away there, ball 2. Vikings dugout trying to get some momentum back on their side. It's that one straight down the middle for strike 1. Cougars in a really good position here. As that one straight down the middle for strike 2. Muñez, the freshman, yesterday against Heidelberg, 0 for 5. As he chops that one foul, keeps himself alive. Picked up his first hit in the maroon and gold in the second inning today. Hit a single out to right field and struggled to keep going since. As he sends that one foul as well. Price in his second appearance on the mound for the Vikings this season. Collected 1 strikeout in .1 innings pitched. As that ball goes far out for ball 3. A full count now. Bases loaded, 1 out. Luchetto doing a fantastic job behind the plate, keeping everything in front of him. Not letting Crater score. As that ball is in there for strike 3. Exactly what Price needed to do. We're going to see a new batter for the Cougars. Number 5, Jake Mahler. Two outs now. Cougars really needing to capitalize on this 2-out situation. Bases loaded to keep themselves alive here in the top of the 9th. Mahler looks at that one for strike 1. Mahler in his second appearance this season for the Cougars. 1 at-bat yesterday against Heidelberg. Still searching for his first hit of the season. Swing and a miss there. Quickly faces an 0-2 count. Mahler, the sophomore on this Cougar squad from Vernon Hills, Illinois, connects with that, keeps himself alive. Still down 0-2. A base hit here scores Crater. As he looks to keep battling through this at-bat. Price looking to retire the game here with the pitch. Inside, almost grazes Mahler, gets out of the way. A 1-2 count now. One more strike thrown here by Price ends the game for the Vikings, giving them their first win of this series, second win of the season. That one misses outside for ball 2. Viking dugout unhappy with that call. Thought that it caught the inside of the plate there. Mahler still battling in this at-bat, fouls it back, keeps it alive. Seeing his 7th pitch of this at-bat right here. Price keeping his composure as well. Delivers the pitch. Mahler connects, sends that ball deep into the outfield. And it's dropped. DeVito drops it in the outfield. Crater's going to score. Hickman rounds second, and that is a double for sophomore Jake Mahler. A fantastic hit, and is exactly what the Cougars needed. Three runs scored here. For the Cougars, Crater, Mahler, and Hickman all found their way home. And the Cougars are going to see a new batter here. Quickly, we have a 4-6 game. As a massive rocket for Mahler is going to put the Cougars right back into this game. We're going to see a pinch runner out on second in Xavier Zagerman. Meanwhile, we're going to get a new batter here in number 11, Connor Manis. As that ball misses outside for ball one. Connor Manis making his first appearance in the maroon and gold. Looking to keep the fight alive for the Cougars. Swing and a miss there. A 1-1 count now. Manis follows that one back. 1-2 count. Price still looking to end this game for the Vikings. Manis swing and a miss. And Price is going to get that win for the Vikings. A big run back from the Cougars from a 6-run deficit down to a 2-run deficit. A fantastic offensive burst here at the end of the game. It's just not quite enough as the Cougars fall to the Vikings 6-4. We'll take a quick look at those final numbers as Cougars as a team struggle overall. 3 for 29 hitting percentage today. The Vikings 12 for 32. Saw some fantastic pitching on both sides for the Cougars. 4 arms through, seeing freshman Brady McCleary throwing 4.1 innings. Meanwhile, Bryce Jones, Richard Gomez, and Tyler Pritchard all threw 1 inning apiece. On the Vikings side, 3 arms through, starter leadoff was able to throw 7 innings, only gave up 2 hits, no runs in that outing, picked up 5 strikeouts. 2 relief pitchers coming in with Jackson and Price. Price going to pick up the save on this game after getting them out of that little bind there. But Cougars going to quickly fall 0-2 on the season in some tough competition. Vikings come back from their loss to Heidelberg earlier. Now looking at a 2-3 record overall. But that's about all we have today. Cougars fall to the Vikings 4-6. Everybody that tuned in today on the Cougar Sports Network, I want to thank you for joining me for some Cougar baseball. Don't miss tomorrow's action as the Cougars look to wrap up their weekend series. They take on Lawrence at 11 a.m. So be sure to tune back into the Cougar Sports Network. But for now, I'm Kayla McLeod. Thank you for joining me all evening tonight. Have a fantastic night. Go Cougars.